Hey folks, Guy McPherson here, founder of the West Coast Trauma Project. Thanks again for checking out this post. Two things today, two crucial skills that will help you when beginning to work with a trauma client. I'm going to get to them right away, but first I want to share a little something. People have been saying, why are you doing this? Why are you talking about trauma? Several years ago, I was working on a novel. I was sitting in Los Angeles, sitting in a room. Phone rings. I got a call. It's from an old friend of mine who I hadn't seen in several years, and she was calling to tell people that she was calling to say goodbye. She called and said that she had been living with AIDS for 9 years, hadn't told anyone, and now she was making all these phone calls, basically to say goodbye. As you can imagine, I was just blown away. I hung up that phone. I was devastated. For several reasons. One, obviously because of what she was saying, but also because this woman had so much courage, so much strength, and I was thinking to myself, what am I doing with my life? At that moment, I knew that I needed to change something, and it had everything to do with helping people. Here I am now. I hope in part this is offering some kind of help. If it is, go to Facebook, like the page, offer a comment. I really appreciate it. All right, let's get to the content. Two crucial skills that will help you when working with a trauma client. One, determining the readiness of the client. Why is this important? Number one, if you don't know, if the client is not ready to move forward with trauma therapy, they're going to become activated, they might become re-traumatized. How do we do this? How do we determine their readiness? Number one, observing them in session. How are they responding when we're beginning our sessions with them, when we're talking about maybe seemingly benign, unrelated topics? Are they shifting? Are there certain sudden movements, inhalations, exhalations, changes in their body state? One of the things we can do is share our observation with the client. And for example, I noticed that there was a sudden tapping there, or your leg began to twitch, or your eye began to twitch, or you exhaled. What can you talk about that? What did that mean? What came up for you? What feelings, thoughts, memories came up for you? Okay, this is a way that we can begin to determine whether our client is ready or not. And they might not be, and that is fine. If we move forward, for example, we might begin a seemingly benign intervention with our client, thinking they might be ready for trauma treatment. For example, we might begin a relaxation exercise. But as soon as we begin to ask our client to settle down, to become quiet, to maybe take a deep breath, this might become activating for them, triggering for them. Why? Because a lot of individuals, specifically individuals who've been involved or a victim of interpersonal violence, assault, rape, molestation, etc., are doing almost everything they can to get away from their body, to get out of their body. That's when we begin to see substance abuse, okay? That's one way we can determine the readiness. The other way is we can ask them. And a lot of times a client might say, yeah, I'm ready, let's go. But we find out in the course of therapy that maybe they're not ready. Okay, so we have to honor that. That's number one, determining the readiness. Number two, resourcing the client. What does this mean? Before we begin trauma therapy with a client, we have to make sure that they have resources, that they have strengths that they can draw upon should they become triggered, should they become anxious, should they become hypoactivated in a sense. And these include memories, powerful memories, exciting memories, memories where they were strong, where they were inspired, feelings where they were strong and inspired and just psyched. We can draw upon these. Clients can draw upon these to help them as they move forward. We can ask them to list times where you felt empowered, where you felt strong, things you like to do. What do you like to do? What do you love to do? This is important because these are remembrances or activities or feeling states or somatic states that clients can consistently resource, okay, hence resourcing. And a lot of times clients might be utilizing coping skills or coping mechanisms that they're not aware of are actually coping mechanisms, okay? This is another opportunity for us to jump in as clinicians and say, that's a coping skill, okay? Whether you realize it or not, that is a coping skill. Distracting yourself with this particular game that you love is a coping skill. Whether or not it's a healthy coping skill is a different story, okay? So we have determining the readiness and we have resourcing the client. Crucial before you begin trauma therapy. All right, that's it. Short, sweet. Obviously, I can go on more, but I just wanted to touch upon these things. Let me know how you're utilizing these skills, if you're utilizing these skills. If you have any other questions, shoot me an email, contact me on Facebook, and I hope you like it. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.
To the street.